वरप्रसन्नम् प्रेमस्वरूपम् ब्रजभावयुक्तम् योगीन्द्रमीड्यम् भवरोगवैद्यम् गुरुं कृपालुं प्रणमामि नित्यम्। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुर् गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। नमः कमलना भाय नमः कमलमालिने नमः कमलपादाय नमस्ते कमलेक्षण यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तग्वं हा देवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। Inquisitive souls, let's chant for a few minutes before I start the discourse on Maya, the topic of Maya and Yogmaya. Let's close our eyes in Roop Dhyan as we sing Hari Hari Bol, Bol Hari Bol. Hari Hari Bol, Bol Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol, Bol Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol, Bol Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol, Bol Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol, Bol Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol, Bol Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol, Bol Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol, Bol Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol, Bol Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol,
हरि बोल,
हरि हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल,
हरि हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल,
हरि हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल,
बोल हरि बोल,
बोल हरि बोल,
बोल हरि बोल,
बोल हरि
ताली बजाइए,
बोल,
हरि हरि बोल, बोल हरि 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 बोल,
हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, 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 हरि बोल,
हरि हरि बोल, बोल 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 हरि बोल,
बोल हरि बोल,
बोल हरि बोल,
बोल हरि बोल,
बोल हरि बोल,
हरि हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल,
हरि हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल,
हरि हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल,
हरि हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल,
हरि हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल,
हरि हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल,
हरि बोल,
हरि
हरि
बोल, हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल 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 हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि हरि बोल 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 बोल हरि बोल
बोलिए गौरांग महाप्रभु की जय।
जय
श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की
जय।
Devotional listeners, now I humbly request your full attention. I also request that if you have your phone with you, please do turn it off. Thank you. My topic this evening is Maya and Yogmaya. Both are energies of God. Gauranga Mahaprabhu has said, Krishnero Ananta Shakti. Sri Krishna has innumerable energies and powers. But Tate Tin Pradhan, three are his main powers that stand out the most, the main powers. And they are Chit Shakti, Maya Shakti, Jeev Shakti, Nam. Antaranga, Bahiranga, Tatastha Kahi Jare. Gauranga Mahaprabhu explains that three of Sri Krishna's main powers are Chit Shakti, also known as Parashakti, also known as Yogmaya Shakti. And then there is, take out the Yog, there's Maya Shakti. Then there is Jeev Shakti. So the Jeev, the individual soul, that is all of us. Yogmaya Shakti is God's personal and most intimate power, which enables God to do anything and everything. He can make the impossible possible because of his Yogmaya power. Binu pag chalai sunai binu kana, kar binu karma karai vidhi nana, anana rahit sakal ras bhogi, binu vani bhakta bad jogi, tan binu paras, nayan binu dekha, grahai घ्राण बिनु बास असेखा, अस सब भांति अलौकिक करनी, महिमा जासु जाई नहीं बरनी. In the Ramayana, Tulsidas ji says that he, the Supreme Lord, walks even though he has no legs or feet. He performs many, many works, although he has no hands. He has no nose, and yet he inhales all scents and all fragrances. He smells everything. He's able to smell. He has no eyes, yet he sees. He is Sarvadrashta. He sees everything all the time. It is his Yogamaya power that is responsible for this. That he can do anything and everything. Nothing is impossible for him. So that is his intimate power. Antaranga Shakti, as Mahaprabhuji calls it. Antaranga. His intimate power is Yogmaya. Again, Chit Shakti, Parashakti are synonyms of Yogmaya Shakti. And then there is Maya Shakti, and that is the Bahiranga. It is the external power of God. Maya Shakti is known as the external energy of God because it is insentient. It is inanimate. Please pay attention. It is insentient. It has no life in it. It is jad. It is not a living thing. It is jad. It has no life. It's like a piece of paper, a pen, an object. It's just like that. Bahiranga Shakti, Maya. And then there is the other Shakti, which we are familiar with, and that is Jeev Shakti. We are all part and parcel of the Jeev Shakti. We are all included within that. And that is called Tatastha. Tatastha Shakti, marginal power, marginal energy of God. Why is it called marginal? It is because although we, meaning the soul, is conscious, just like God, it is conscious, yet the Jeev, the individual soul, is under the control of Maya. It has been eternally surrendered to Maya. So it is called Tatastha Shakti. In some ways, the individual soul is similar to God. God is conscious, God is Chit, and so the individual soul, Jivatma, is also Chit. God is eternal, and so is Jeev. But then the Jeev, the individual soul, has been surrendered to Maya since the time when even time did not exist. So it is the marginal power of God. But this evening we are going to talk only about Maya Shakti and Yogmaya Shakti. Let's begin with Maya. Maya Shakti. This Maya Shakti has two aspects. One is called Vidya Maya, the other is Avidya Maya, the intelligent aspect of Maya and the unintelligent aspect of Maya. Tulsidas ji tells us in the Ramayana, Ek rachai jag gun basta ke, Prabhu prerit nahi nij balta ke, Ek dusht atishay dukh rupa, Ja bas jeev para bhavkupa. One is Vidya Maya, Maya which creates the world, energized by God, although it is jad, it is insentient, it is inanimate, yet when God graces Maya, when God energizes Maya, then Maya becomes as powerful as God. So this Vidya Maya creates countless universes. It creates the world. Ek rachai jag. And the other one, the unintelligent aspect of Maya, Avidya Maya, Dusht Atishaya Dukha Rupa, Jabas Jeev Para Bhavakupa. It rules our mind. Because we are surrendered to Maya, it was our own choice, our eternal choice. We did not surrender to God. We surrendered to one of his powers, an inferior power at that, Maya Shakti, inferior to Jeev Shakti. So we have been surrendered to Maya. And so Maya is controlling our mind. So bear in mind, there are two aspects of Maya, Vidya and Avidya Maya. Now, Avidya Maya governs our mind. And this Maya has three gunas or modes, three gun. Sattva, Raj and Tam. The mode of virtue and goodness. This is Sattva gun. The mode of worldly passions and desires. Rajogun. The mode of ignorance. Tamogun. This Maya that's ruling over our mind, it makes our mind sometimes sattvic, but more often, much more often, rajas, and the most often it makes it tamasic. These three modes of Maya are like three wrestlers in a wrestling arena. You may think about three wrestlers in an arena, and each one is trying to defeat the other two. So Sattvagun, the mode of goodness, is trying to defeat Rajogun and Tamogun, the mode of worldly desires and the mode of ignorance. But in Kali Yuga, Sattva Gun does not win very often. Rajogun wins much more often. And Tamogun wins the most often. When Sattvagun is the winning one, when it conquers the other two, when it wins over the other two, then our mind becomes very virtuous and it becomes a very nice mind. We think good thoughts, we think godly thoughts at that time. We are then, at that time, we are very gentle, we are very tolerant, we are very humble. All good qualities come into the mind because Sattvagun is a mode of virtue and goodness. But then, when Rajogun wins, it's one of the three wrestlers, and this wrestler called Rajogun wins, then our mind becomes very worldly. When Tamogun wins, then our mind becomes we become very angry and frustrated. We are not at that point, we are not the kind of person that anyone would want to associate with. Even we would not want to associate with ourselves. We become angry, frustrated, we yell and scream, we fight. And in the course of one day alone, we can go from Sattvagun to Rajogun to Tamogun. These modes of Maya, they keep on wreaking havoc in our mind. We don't know which mode is going to be the victor. We don't know. A fellow is practicing devotion. He's doing Rup Dhyan. So he is feeling very sattvic. He's thinking, oh, God is so merciful to me. I am so grateful for everything Sri Krishna has done for me and keeps on doing for me. When will I attain Krishna? And then all of a sudden, his eyes open and he sees his little daughter. Well, his little daughter jumps into his lap. So now immediately Rajogun enters the mind. Now he says, okay, Krishna can wait. My daughter is everything to me. So he becomes worldly. Immediately, his mind is thinking about his daughter. He's become very worldly. His heart is now melting for his cute little, beautiful little daughter. Isn't she the best? Isn't she the cutest, the prettiest, the most wonderful? So he becomes worldly. And after some time, when he leaves his puja room, then he goes out to work, and then he becomes very frustrated. He picks a fight with someone. He starts to quarrel. Now Tamogun has entered his mind. Tamogun has emerged victorious over the other two. In the course of one single day, we can go into so many different moods. We say about others, don't we? Oh, she's very moody. He's very moody. Watch out for her moods. Fact is, we're all moody. We go into so many different moods from time to time. We go into this mood, then that mood, then another mood, then we go back to that one. We are all moody because we are being controlled by Maya. The mind is being controlled by Maya, and the Maya has three modes, three gun, Sattvagun, Rajogun, Tamogun. The modes of virtue and goodness, worldly passions and desires, and ignorance. So we have always been surrendered to God's energy called Maya. And it is the inferior energy of God. Bhagavad Gita calls it, in the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna calls it Apara Shakti. Maya Shakti is Apara, it is the inferior power. Jeev Shakti is Para Shakti, it is the superior power. So we, being part of Jeev Shakti, yet we have surrendered to God's inferior power. Apara Shakti, Maya Shakti. And we are being ruled by it. Our mind is being ruled by it. We have always been ruled by it. And we become frustrated with our mind. We say, oh, why is my mind like this? As long as we are under the control of Maya, and as long as we don't do anything to control our mind, this Maya Shakti the three modes of Maya are going to continue to torment the mind. There have been countless souls who have controlled their minds. So their mind became their best friend. But as long as we have an uncontrolled mind, as long as we keep on being careless with the mind, then our mind is going to remain our worst enemy. It's the same mind, but we can make it into our best friend, or we can have it as our worst enemy. It's the same mind. This mind which is controlled by Maya. This Maya Shakti is a very intriguing power. Once Narad Muni asked his Lord, Bhagwan, what is this Maya of yours? And the Supreme Lord said, Narad, we'll see about Maya later on, but right now my throat is parched. I need some water. See if you can get some water. Narad Muni went out in search of water, and he came upon a village. In the village there was a well, and he was just about to take water from the well when he saw a very beautiful young maiden. And he became immediately infatuated with her. She had filled her pitcher with water, and she was setting out for home. Narad Muni forgot all about his Lord and the water, and he followed her home. He went inside the house, and he talked with this girl's father and said, I would like your daughter's hand in marriage. So the father of this girl gladly accepted. Narad Muni got married to this young maiden. They got married. The girl's father gave his daughter and son-in-law all his property. He passed away after a few years. And now Narad and his wife are he's living in wedded bliss. Then they have some children, first child, second child, third child. They have children. And everything is going well. All of a sudden, the monsoons came, and the river that was flowing in the village, it started to overflow. And there was flooding. The water levels rose very, very high. Many people lost their lives. Narad Muni tried desperately to save himself and his family. He held on to them very tightly, but the water flow was very, very strong. The current was very powerful. So one by one, his family members got separated from him. His wife, his children, one by one. They all became separated from him. Narad Muni was somehow able to reach the shore. And then when he reached the shore, he realized that his family had perished in the floods. So he started wailing with utmost grief. He started crying bitterly. He had lost everything he loved. Just then he felt a divine touch on his shoulder. He looked back, and it was his Lord. Narad Muni suddenly remembered Bhagwan, and he asked, Maharaj, I forgot all about you. How long has it been? Narad, on earth many, many years have passed. For me, just a moment. Maharaj, what happened? I forgot all about you. Narad, you wish to know what Maya is? Well, this is Maya. I asked you to get some water for me. You became infatuated with a young lady. You got married to her. You had children. And you forgot all about me. That is my Maya. Maya makes us forget. we become enamored with the material world. We become so enamored with creation that we pay no attention to the Creator. No attention. Who created all this that I am so enamored with? There is no concern with God, but His creation seems very sweet. That is a play of Maya. But as our scriptures tell us, we have ourselves chosen to surrender to Maya. So it's not that God has chased us with His Maya. A lot of people think that. Why did God have us chased by Maya? Why did He create Maya in the first place? God did not create Maya, because if He had created it, somebody could kill it. That which is born will have to die one day. It will be destroyed. Just like Jivatma was never created, in the same way, Maya was never created. It is an energy which has always been in existence. It is an eternal energy of God. And it is also called the maidservant of God. So dasi Raghubir ki samujhe mithya sopi chutai na ram kripa binu nath kahu padropi. Ramcharitmanas. Tulsidas ji calls Maya handmaiden of God, because God's powers are all under His control. His powers are under His control naturally. So Maya is a handmaiden of God. It is an inferior energy of God, as opposed to Jeev, which is the superior energy of God. And there are two aspects of Maya, the unintelligent aspect and the intelligent aspect. Avidya Maya and Vidya Maya. It may interest you to know that the Jnani, the impersonalist, who prefers to think about God as having neither name nor form, that is a Jnani, the one who follows a path of Jnana, the path of impersonalism, he is able to conquer Avidya Maya. He is able to conquer Rajagun and Tamogun, Avidya Maya. And he becomes Atma-Jnani. He understands and fully realizes himself to be the Atma. He does not foolishly identify himself as the body, which is impermanent. He understands, he realizes, I am the Atma, I am the soul. So he is an Atma-Jnani. It's a very high position to be in, Atma-Jnani. But he cannot defeat, he cannot conquer Vidya Maya, he cannot conquer Sattvagun. For that, he must surrender to God with name and form. Shri Krishna tells us in the Gita that once you have conquered Avidya Maya, now you have attained Atma-Gyan, you need to practice devotion to me. You need to surrender to me. So even the Atma-Jnani, he needs to surrender. He will have to surrender to Shri Krishna. Then Shri Krishna will grace him, and he will motion to his Vidya Maya. He will motion to Maya, leave this one alone. It's only then that the Atma-Jnani can conquer Vidya Maya and attain liberation from Maya altogether. So there are two aspects of Maya. It is only by surrendering to Shri Krishna that we can go beyond Maya. There is no other way. There is no other way. If the Jnani says, oh my Brahm, give me liberation from Maya, then Brahm does not do anything. The impersonal absolute Brahm, the one that has no name, no form, it is Akarta. Brahm is Akarta, does not do anything. How can Brahm bestow grace? It is only God with name and form. It is only Shri Krishna who can bestow grace. So after conquering Rajagun and Tamogun, the Jnani, Atma-Jnani needs to surrender to Shri Krishna, practice devotion to him, in other words, love him. And then Sri Krishna will grace him and tell Maya to leave him alone. So that's a little bit about Maya that rules us all. Before God realization, everyone is ruled by Maya. Then there is Yogmaya, the intimate, the most personal power of God, otherwise known as Yogmaya. Chit Shakti and Parashakti. Swarupa Shakti also. So it is the most intimate energy of God. God possesses this power, and he also gives it as a gift to the one who surrenders to him. For instance, Dhruv was a little boy, 5 years old. He was only 5. And he attained God. When God appeared before him, Mahavishnu appeared before him and touched Dhruv's shoulder with his conch. And by doing so, he gave Dhruv God realization. Now, a moment earlier, Dhruv was controlled by Maya. And now that God has given him his grace, now Dhruv is beyond Maya. He has gone beyond Maya. He is liberated from Maya. And God has given him Yogmaya Shakti, Yogmaya power. The same power that God has, it is the same power that's given to the one who surrenders fully to God. Now both God and the saint, Mahapurush, Sant, Mahatma, they both have the same power. This is why Narad Muni says in Narad Bhakti Darshan, Tasmins tajjane bheda bhavat. There is no difference between God and a saint, a guru. Both have the same powers. God gives him that power, Yogmaya. Yogmaya power, when God descends to earth, Yogmaya power, with this power called Yogmaya, God performs many, many leelas, pastimes. Those pastimes are such that we are not able to comprehend them. Because God is performing them with his divine Shakti. How can we who are in the possession of a material mind, controlled by Maya, therefore material mind and material intellect, how can we understand the divine works of God, the divine plays, the divine sports of God? We cannot. But we think we can. We have so much pride of our mind and intellect, which is so faulty, that we think we can understand God. And we use the same criteria in trying to understand God as we use in trying to understand a worldly person, a worldly man or a woman. And then we fail to understand anything. Our mind is filled with doubts. We end up committing the greatest spiritual offenses called Namaparad. Namaparad. You see, using the power of Yogmaya, God and his saints, they can conduct themselves in a way that it would seem like they are ruled by lust. They can conduct themselves in a way that it would make them look like they're controlled by anger and greed and desire for power. It's very easy to think that they are very faulty, that they have worldly attachments. Bhagwan Ram is crying because of separation from his wife, Sita. And he has gone almost mad with grief because he's asking the creatures of the forest, have you seen my Sita anywhere? He's asking the black bees, have you seen my Sita anywhere? He's asking the trees of the forest, did Sita pass by over here? Did you see her? And imagine if we had seen, and we probably did see, Bhagwan Ram in this state, what would we have thought? We would have thought, what a madman. I understand his wife is missing, but why is he asking the trees? Why is he asking the deer? Why is he asking the bees? Why is he asking these creatures of the forest for the whereabouts of his wife? He's a madman. So we just left him behind. And then we talked about it. I saw a madman in the woods over there, and he was crying for his wife. I mean, who does that? He's crying like a helpless child. And he's asking trees and animals and birds. I tell you, he's fully mad. He belongs in a mental asylum. Those are the comments that we would have passed. Not realizing that his works are the works of Yogmaya. Saints such as the 5 Pandav brothers, their works were very confusing. All 5 brothers married to one woman called Draupadi. It was scandalous. So many people jeered at them, they insulted them, they snickered when they saw them, they insulted them greatly. They called them characterless. Who does this? 1 woman, 5 husbands. And yet, we would have said the same thing, not knowing that those are works of Yogmaya, that the 5 brothers and Draupadi, they are completely surrendered to Sri Krishna. They're not attached anywhere in the world. They are attached only to Sri Krishna. Their minds are pure. It is said that when Arjun slept, you could hear, if you went towards his hair, you could see each and every strand of hair calling out to Krishna. Oh Govind, Gopal, Madhav, Keshav. Each and every pore of his body was calling out to Sri Krishna. Draupadi was absolutely surrendered to Sri Krishna. All of them were. But look at their conduct. Scandalous, characterless, people called it. And now that enough time has transpired, now we say, no, they were very pure, they were saints. But at that time, we didn't think that. But I ask you, how many people would know, even today, even the people who don't find any fault with the Pandavas, if you ask them, well, why don't you find fault with them? Do you think it's right for one woman to have 5 husbands? They would not be able to give you the answer as to why they don't have any doubts anymore. It's just that enough time has passed. But we must understand that we must have no doubts about these souls because of the power that God has given to them, Yogmaya Shakti. So these saints, they get married, they have children. Prahlad attained God realization in his childhood. Narsingh Bhagwan came down to earth only for Prahlad, to kill Hiranyakashipu. And then he installed Prahlad, little Prahlad, on the throne. Prahlad is God realized, and then he gets married. Then he has a son, Virochan. So we think that saints don't get married. I mean, are they just like ordinary people that they suffer from lust, they have desires? I guess so. I mean, he was not a saint. He got married, he had a child. But listen to this. Once Virochan, Prahlad's son Virochan, was playing with the son of Prahlad's guru. Both were of the same age, so they were playing together. And as children often do, they both started boasting about their fathers. Prahlad said, "My father is the greatest, he's a king." The guru's father said, "But your father, although he's a king, he bows down at the feet of my father, so my father is greater than your father." And they started arguing. And then they both decided that they will have a bet. The bet is that whoever wins the bet, your father is greater or my father is greater, Prahlad's son Virochan said, we will get someone to judge this for us. And then whoever the loser is, whoever loses this bet will have to give up his life. Agreed? Agreed. Both of the little boys, they both agreed. But who is going to judge this matter? The guru's guru's son said, your father, the king. Virochan said, but he's my father. And what if he rules in my favor? Then what? You will say that's not fair. No, no, no. I will have full faith in his judgment because my father has told me that your father is absolutely fair. He will give the right judgment. So I will trust his judgment. So they both went to Prahlad. Prahlad said to Virochan, Virochan, my son, what were you thinking? Have you not seen me paying homage to my Guru? My Guru is infinitely greater than me. O Virochan, ekamevaksharam yastu, guru shishyam prabodhayet, prithivyam nasti tadravyam yaddatva chanirno bhavet. Manusmriti. O Virochan, for one word of divine knowledge that my Guru has given me, I have become indebted to him for all eternity. Virochan, I may keep on serving my Guru, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. I may give him the opulences of the three universes. I may give him unlimited wealth. I may give him everything, but I will be forever indebted to him because what have I given him? In return, in exchange for the divine knowledge he has given me. I can only give him material things. Material things cannot pay for divine knowledge. So son, beta, my Guru is infinitely greater than I am. Now I'm sorry to say that I will give you the death penalty. You will have to die. Prahlad, without feeling the least bit of sorrow, he gave death penalty to he pronounced the death penalty on his son. In the meantime, the Guru found out about this and he came running. When Virochan was just going to be beheaded, the Guru came in and said, stop. He said to Prahlad, am I your Guru? Will you obey me? Yes, sir. Yes, Gurudev. Whatever you say. If you want me to cut my head, if you want to give the death penalty to me, I will gladly accept it. Whatever is your wish. Guru said, this is your one and only son. He is the heir to the kingdom. Who will be the king after you? So I want you to release him from the death penalty. Prahlad said, as you wish. Now that Prahlad is releasing his son from the death penalty, now he knows that his son is going to live. It's not that he is feeling, oh, thank God. He's not feeling this relief. He's not feeling that, oh, happiness. He's not delirious with happiness. He is the same as he was earlier. He's the same. When he was pronouncing the death penalty and when he was releasing his son from the death penalty, absolutely the same. So the fact that Prahlad got married and he had a son, it was not due to Prahlad being worldly. That is a work. These are the works of Yogmaya. We've had so many kings in Hindu history. King Janak, King Prahlad, King Dhruv, King Vibhishan, King Dasharath, so many kings who were saints also. They were kings and they were saints. So in order to succeed as a king, every king has to elaborate, he has to widen his horizons, widen his kingdom. So he must declare war on the neighboring kings. And all these saintly kings would have done that. But they were not greedy. Their actions were not motivated by greed, not at all. One of King Bhagwan Ram's ancestors was King Raghu, a saint and a king. He performed a very austere yajna, and that yajna, the performer of the yajna must give up, he must give in charity everything he possesses. Every single thing he possesses, he must give it up. And Raghu did that. He gave up everything, all his gold, all his treasury, everything was given. So now he is reduced to eating from clay vessels, and a plate made of clay. In other words, just because he's a king doesn't mean that he is attached to all the trappings of being a king, the luxuries. He's not at all attached. If I have it today, it is the will of God. If I don't have it tomorrow, it is the will of God. An ordinary man cannot do that. An ordinary person cannot think this way. So these are the works of Yogmaya. When we see these great souls performing works of anger, greed, hatred, pride, envy, lust, hypocrisy, all these actions are performed by them. But they are not at fault. They are always perfect because their works are the works of Yogmaya. Yogmaya, Yog plus Maya. So outwardly it seems as if their works are the works of Maya, but inwardly the Yog is always intact. The union of the mind with God is never interrupted. It is always there, constantly. Yog, union. And outwardly, Maya, Yogmaya. There's a wonderful, very amusing story, a true story about the gopis, Sri Krishna and Durvasa Muni. The gopis were observing a fast. They were trying to please Katyayani Devi, one of Durga's manifestations, Katyayani Devi. And they were all worshipping Katyayani Devi because all of them wanted the same thing. They were begging, they were praying to Katyayani Devi. Each and every gopi is saying, "Oh Katyayani Devi, be merciful upon me. Cast your merciful glance at me, and so that I may have Krishna as my husband." So all of them, with the same aim in mind, they were fasting. They wanted to break the fast, but it was a rainy day, and they didn't know where to go, what kind of Brahmin to feed. So they approached Sri Krishna and they said, "Maharaj, can you suggest a Brahmin that we can feed to conclude our fast so that we can eat after that?" And Sri Krishna said, "Well, my guru, Durvasa Muni, is the greatest Brahmin. You should feed him." Feeding him, feeding that one Brahmin, Durvasa Muni, is like feeding thousands and thousands of Brahmins. And they were delighted at this prospect, but it's a very rainy night. And it's a rainy day, and the sun is setting. So how can we get to, and where does he live? On the other side of the Yamuna. How can we go there? No boatman will take us across. Sri Krishna said, "You don't need a boatman to take you across. You just walk across the Yamuna." What? How do we do that? No, just go to the Yamuna and just say, "Oh Yamuna Maya, if it is true that Sri Krishna is Akhanda Brahmachari, that he's always a celibate, his celibacy has never been broken, then show us the path that we can walk on." And all the gopis snickered, and they all laughed. Hee 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 hee. Why? They knew that he was always after the gopis. He is Akhanda Brahmachari. But they said, "Well, there's no harm in trying." They went there. They went and they said to the Yamuna Maya, "If Sri Krishna is Akhanda Brahmachari, show us a path." And immediately the Yamuna showed them a path. They were not astonished, but happy. They went to the other side of the Yamuna. They sought out Durvasa Muni, and they had all of them had taken, each one of them had taken lots of food, a big platter of food. And they presented all the platters of food. They bowed to him. They said, "Maharaj, would you kindly accept this bhog?" Each one of them expected him to eat a tiny bit from each one of the platters. So imagine their shock when he ended up eating everything. He ate up all the food of all the gopis, and they thought he didn't even leave any prasad for us. No prasad left. He just gulped it all down. But they were still happy that he has accepted everything we brought him. But goodness, he has a great appetite. He sure eats a lot. They were thinking these thoughts, then they thought, we need to get home. So now what do we do? So they asked, "Maharaj, how are we going to get home?" Durvasa Muni said very nonchalantly, "Not a problem. You just walk across the Yamuna." How? And he said, "Just go to Yamuna Maya and say, if Durvasa Muni has never eaten anything but doob," it's a variety of grass, "then please show us the path." And the gopis were even more astonished. They said, "Right in front of us, he's eaten all these goodies, like halwa, puri, malpua, this and that, kachori, And now he says he has eaten nothing but grass, green grass, that's all he has eaten. His name Durvasa means that, the one who only eats doob. Once again, they went to Yamuna and they said, if Durvasa Muni has never eaten anything but doob, please show us the path. Once again, the path was created. So they went back to Sri Krishna and they said, Maharaj, we are very confused. It is not true that you are a Khanda Brahmachari, and it is not true that Durvasa has never eaten anything but doob. We don't understand this. Is this a scheme that you've got Yamuna involved in? Is this some sajish? What is this? Well, have you bribed Yamuna? Has Durvasa Muni also bribed Yamuna? Shri Krishna said, sit down, I'll explain to you. What he explained to the gopis was the concept of Yogmaya. O gopis, God and saints have a power called Yogmaya, using which it seems to everyone looking at them that they are performing works of Maya, but inwardly they are always divine. Their mind is always connected, united with the divine. They do not suffer from the disease of Maya. Maya is under their control. They're not under the control of Maya. Their power is called Yogmaya. Therefore, O gopis, do not ever doubt the works of God or godly saints, they who have attained God realization. This is why it is considered to be the biggest aparad, the biggest nama aparad, the biggest spiritual offense, to find fault with God. And even more serious is the offense of finding fault with a saint. Sunu Suresh Raghunath Subhau Nij aparadh risahi na kahu Jo aparadh bhagat kar karahi Ram rosh pavak so jarahi. Ramcharitmanas. Indra is being addressed. O Indra, O Suresh, the Ish, the Lord of all the Suras, all the celestial beings, gods, Devtas. Listen, such is the nature of Raghunathji, Bhagwan Sri Ram, that if someone insults him, he does not mind. He forgives and forgets. So if someone commits an offense against God, God readily forgives him. But if that person commits an offense against a saint, the one who is more precious than life to God, his saints are so precious to him that Shri Krishna says, Anubrajamyaham nityam puye ye tyangri renubhihi. I walk behind these surrendered souls so that I may become purified by the dust of their lotus feet. So the ones who love him so much, if one of those saints is insulted, even in the mind, you don't have to say anything. Just think against him. You have committed an aparadh, an unpardonable offense. And then Ram rosh pavak so jarahi. Then the offender burns in the fire of Bhagwan Ram's anger. We have committed these namaparad in previous lives, but we must be very cautious never to become confused by the works of God and saints. We must understand very clearly the concept of Yogmaya. Everyone who walks on this earth is not controlled by Maya. Just like in a jail, when you go to a jail, there's not only the offenders, not only the prisoners, but also prison guards are there. It's like a whole village inside there. There is a pharmacy there. There are pharmacists there. There's a lot of people who work there. There are cooks. Everybody in the prison is not a prisoner. In the same way, everyone who comes to this earth is not an ordinary person like us. God comes to this earth. Saints come to this earth. We must not judge them according to our own criteria that our own mind has devised. Because their works are not the works of Maya, they are the works of Yogmaya. By surrendering to these pure souls, we can attain God, and that is the only way to attain God, by surrendering to a saint. So we must clearly understand that we are controlled by Maya. When God comes to earth, we cannot recognize him. We cannot understand that He is God. Avajananti mam mudha manushim tanumashritam param bhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. Bhagavad Gita. Shri Krishna says, O Arjun, people of the world fail to recognize me. They fail to recognize me because I am veiled by Yogmaya and they are veiled by Maya. So Shri Maharaj Ji writes, he has composed this verse in Radha Govind Geet. Mera parda maya tera yog maya radhe. I am veiled by Maya, you are veiled by Yogmaya. Let me correct myself. Tera parda Yogmaya Govind Radhe. Mera parda Maya dono parda hata de. Mera parda Maya dono parda hata de. I am veiled by Maya, you are veiled by Yogmaya. How can I see you then? You must remove your veil of Yogmaya and you must remove my veil of Maya so that I may see you face to face. I may see you very clearly. So let's keep both these concepts very clear in our minds, the concepts of Maya and Yogmaya. बोलिए श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय, श्रीमद् युगल सरकार की जय, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे.